Senator Birdwell.
Senator Johnson, as much as it pains me to have a discussion about cremation, I do have one question based on you said that some folks go out of state and then their remains are brought back. But the way I understood the bill is that with a water-based cremation, that the remains are actually put into the wastewater distribution system. The only remains are the skeletal remains.
That's correct.
So if there's a water cremation, then the only thing returning back is the skeletal remains, but they're not those are not flame cremated.
They are distinct from flame cremated, but they're very, very similar. In the flame cremation process, most of what is our body is dissipated into the atmosphere. What is remained is very close to just skeletal remains. Right. It's a slightly purer form of remains through the water process.
Most of our body is liquid, so it's evaporated when...
And other molecules of our bodies are not reduced to ash, but they are released into the atmosphere as something other than water vapor. So they're actually quite comparable, and I'm glad you brought up the biology of this not very fun topic.
No, it's not. But
less fun for some than others. But the actual process of water cremation very closely mimics what happens in the earth in a burial process over a much longer period of time. The heat of the water and chemicals that are put into the water accelerate that process. You also raise, indirectly, but I think importantly, the question of what happens to everything else. In the case of flame cremation, it's in the atmosphere. In the case of water cremation, it does go into sewer systems. That has been a concern in the past. There's been plenty of studies on it. It's not only okay, it actually in some cases is beneficial to local water treatment systems.
My staff had given me that note, and I'm like, how's the effluent beneficial to something to do with pH? But
that's the extent of my knowledge as well.
Yeah, it's really more, for me, the issue is really more about the right of conscience of the individual, whether they wish to be buried according to their religious sentiments or non-religious sentiments. I wanted a clear picture. You mentioned that the law is not clear, but some folks are doing it in state, other folks are taking it out of state to be done, and your attempt here is simply to clarify its clear legality so that those that may be choosing this are not, that in the state are not having to actually evacuate to other states, and that those that are doing it in the state are not subject to some criminality or some other civil or criminal sanction.
That's exactly right. Senator Birdwell, you've laid out the bill far better than I have, quite honestly, and I really appreciate you raising those issues. I do believe we're going to have some testimony in support of the bill. Is that right, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
And so I'll withhold further explanation and allow the witnesses to.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Senator Campbell.
Just I'm not sure how the effluent is a welcome addition to the water system.
And
I thought that was an interesting statement, but without really a comment or answer to that, I'm very happy to support even. This is something I definitely can get behind and for a green effort and decrease the carbon footprint. So I really had never heard of it, and I think it's good.
Thank you, Senator Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.